So, if you know me, you might have heard once, at least, about a game I'm working on called Airsoft Arena or just Arenas. And I'm here to tell you that I'm still working on it. Yeah, luckily, this isn't going to be one of those videos where they say, oh, I'm just way too busy, when in actual reality, they're just really lazy. But now you might be asking, if you're still working on it, then why is it taking you so long to release it? And it turns out that when you put someone with very minimal experience in game design to run a fairly big and complex project, it usually doesn't go smoothly. Yeah, who would have thought? One of the biggest problems, if not the biggest problem with the game, was the very inconsistent coding. Like seriously, the coders of this game span from middle schoolers all the way to professionals with years of experience. For example, say I pay someone to make a script that gives the player the ability to run. What they would do is they would write probably something like, when the player is holding W and holding shift, then increase the speed by 5. And then I would go and pay someone else to add something to the script, like increase the player's FOV when they're running. What they would do is they'd write, when the player is holding W and holding shift, then increase the field of view by 10. And for the people who aren't familiar with programming, you might be confused on why this is a problem. And the reason why it is because it's so much more complex than it needs to be. Let's go back to the first person I paid for a second. What he wrote is, when the player is holding W and shift, then increase the speed. But what he could write is, when the player is holding W and shift, this is called running. And then he could write, when the player is running, then increase the speed by 5. And yes, that does mean that the first coder has to do slightly more work, but then when we move on to the second coder, when they have to increase the field of view when the player is running, all they have to write is, when the player is running, increase the field of view by 10. So yeah, in total I spent around $100 on devs so far, and for those of you saying, oh my god, $100 on some stupid video game, that's such a waste. Just know that this game has been in development for 8 months by now, so doing the math, that's only $12.50 a month. And I know you could easily spend $100 in a day, so I don't want to hear it. But yeah, since I didn't hire the best of devs, half of the money went to waste, while the other was spent on the movement system, which is the only thing I'm going to be bringing to this new version of the game. And if you haven't picked up on it yet, yes, I'm going to have to take a bit of a step back to hire better developers, which would be a lot easier if hiring people on Smarty Server was done in Forms instead of a stupid bot that no one knows how to use, so that the scripts are more consistent in quality, and the files are more organized, which was another problem we had. But now we can get to the SpongeBob gameplay because we're going to be talking about what I myself have been doing on the game. And the game's gotten to a point where it's been in development for so long that now people are expecting it to be some super high quality, top tier Roblox game when that's far from the reality. The main reason why this game is taking so long to release is because I originally didn't plan it very well, and now I gotta build it all over again from ground zero. So don't expect the game to have all these crazy features and game modes at launch, because my main goal with this is to release it at the most basic and simplest form of itself, so I can use that as a base and build from there. So if I can't add anything new to the game yet, I could just make what I already have better, which is what I did. So to start off, we have the animations, and the only one I had in the first version of the game regarding the movement system was the running animation, and as you can see here, it's alright, but it's not anything special, and it was made with easing. But with the new running animation I made, it just looks so much more smooth and fluid, it's a lot more cartoony, and it was made in linear. And on top of all of that, I made a walking, crouching, and sliding animation to go with it. Though, you might be wondering why I haven't shown any animations, or anything at all for that matter, for the weapons yet. And the reason for that is because, like I said earlier, we're redoing a lot of the game. And because of that, we're redoing the main part of the game, the gun system. But what I can show you regarding the guns is the models. And personally, I think this was the biggest improvement I made to the game. Here we have the original assault rifle and pistol. Again, not the worst things ever, but once we look at the new ones, these just look so much better. I made it so they look less straight, and they have more detail than the original, but not too much so they still fit the game. And to go along with the new models, I created a shotgun, sniper, and rocket launcher model. Just kidding, here's the real one. And I went ahead and did the same thing with the props too. I made them look less straight and less flat, and as you can see here, they look a lot better from their originals. But the one thing I could just never seem to get right was the maps. Throughout the 8 months I spent working on this game, I've built a lot of maps. But there would always just be one huge problem with all of them. Sometimes they would be too big, making the player feel small. Sometimes the map was too small and there wasn't many places to go. Sometimes the map would have too much detail, sometimes the map would have too little, etc. It's brought me to a point where every time I would open Studio, I would just sit there doing nothing, not knowing what to do next. And then I just find myself playing Fortnite or Marvel Rivals at the end of the day. Luckily though, I've gotten better with that. I've been working hard on this game. I've been limiting myself from playing video games and watching YouTube. And the main reason why I've been doing this is because, yeah, the rebirth. Overall, I think the Rebirth being a bad event and failing was a good lesson for me. It told me that if I want people to like something and if I want it to be good, I have to be working hard, I have to be putting actual effort into it, and a good result just won't magically come to me. I gotta earn it. So yeah, in the future I'll be putting more effort into projects, I'll be giving myself more time to make the projects, and I won't hype them up. I'll let you guys determine how good they are. Though, like I said at the start of the video, Arenas isn't going to be anything amazing at launch. It'll most likely have some bugs, it won't have any crazy revolutionary features, but over time me and my devs will work on it, we'll make updates, and we'll improve the game. But I know what you guys really want to know. When will this game come out? When can we see more Arenas? And when can we see more Klets? I don't know.